We actually think that we are seeing signs that the straits are starting to reopen. I think you guys have probably seen oil prices have come down, so I think the oil markets, the gas markets are seeing the same thing. But the president's been very clear. The deal is a ceasefire, a negotiation. That's what we give. And what they give is the straits are going to be reopened. If we don't see that happening, the president is not going to abide by our terms if the Iranians are not abiding by their terms.
That was Vice President J.D. Vance speaking just moments ago from a tarmac in Budapest. He's been in Hungary promoting Viktor Orban, the autocrat and prime minister there in elections, as all of this instability unfolds with this tenuous ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. You hear him there saying that the Strait of Hormuz remaining open is critical to all of this. But as you're about to hear from our colleague, MS Now contributor Inzamam Rashid in Dubai, there are some updates. Inzamam, break down for us what you're hearing about how fragile all of these conditions are.
Yeah, they really are. And I think, we're on day one of this ceasefire, and it feels like, and it's meant to be going on for 2 weeks, and it feels like we might not even get through the first night of it because of the situation when it comes to fighting. But as a result of that fighting, Iran deciding that they want to close the Strait of Hormuz once again. We heard there from J.D. Vance, the vice president, that he believes that vessels have been going through the Strait of Hormuz today. Caroline Levitt had also said in the press briefing earlier today that there's been an uptick of vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz as it opens up once again, because that was one of the conditions of the ceasefire. But we've been looking firstly at vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz today, and only 3 were tracked transiting that waterway where usually 20% of the world's oil passes through. And since the ceasefire was announced, only 3 have passed through. And just looking specifically at what those vessels were, they are either vessels that currently have links with Iran or previously have had links with Iran. So that's no suggestion by any means that any country can pass through the Strait of Hormuz, get their oil through, get their products through that very strategic waterway. So at the minute, it doesn't feel like the Strait of Hormuz is back open and back running once again. We've also heard directly from the parliamentary speaker of Iran, who's come out and said that this ceasefire framework has been violated. He said that in such a situation, a bilateral ceasefire or negotiations is unreasonable right now. So clearly, there is still an issue around that waterway, Antonia.
Inzamam Rashid, thank you, as always, for your great reporting.